else feel like roundup videos at the end of 2016 are like calming. That's how I feel. I really enjoy them because I find like I put to bed all the products that I've loved and I get to find new ones. Hi guys, it's Tanya here. Thanks for watching. So I've done lips, I've done face, and now I'm doing eyes. I think because I've played with so much makeup this year, I couldn't bring myself to pick like just one thing out of every category. And I know that sometimes favorites videos that are built this way with like so many different products can be really overwhelming, but I like doing them this way because I feel like it gives you guys an opportunity to find stuff that will actually work for you specifically, as opposed to like just my favorites. We're probably gonna go a little out of order, but let's just start with eyeshadow because I've got the most of that out in front of me and I feel very cluttered, so I want to kind of clear it. So the first thing is this. Now, Jaclyn Hill actually convinced me, I watched her video, and then I was like, I need a Holy Grail palette. I already had a palette that had like a lot of eyeshadows that I loved in it, but I hadn't created one that had like different brands, different colors. Like this is, if my house was burning down and I could only grab one eyeshadow palette, this is what I would grab. It's Makeup Geek, it's MAC, it's Anastasia Beverly Hills, and I don't think there's anything else in there. But it's a good variety of color. I've got my warm corals, my shimmeries, my purple row, and then my teal row. I love teal in the summertime. You guys already know. I'm not gonna go into all of these colors, but basically, like, I love this palette. Love it, love it, love it, love it, love it. If you want me to do a whole video just on this palette and what's in it, I will gladly do that. Colors in this palette very rarely ever change because it's like my holy grail, my most favorite, my most go-to eyeshadows. So it almost always looks like this. But if you want me to do a video on it, let me know in the comment section down below and I will absolutely talk about it. The other Holy Grail palette I've used this year is the Violet Voss Holy Grail. I've used this in quite a few videos and looks, and every time I put these colors on, everybody's like, what are you wearing? I love this palette because it really is all warm toned. If you're somebody who likes to mix your warms and cools, you won't love this. This is straight warm tone, but it has so many different shades, textures, finishes. So beautiful. You can create so many gorgeous looks. Plus the names in this palette are to die for. You have Thanks a Latte, you have Hashtag, you have On Fleek, you have Wine and Dine. I just bat my eyes. Holy Grail palette. If you can still get your hands on it, I highly recommend that you do if you like warm toned eyeshadows because it's really good for that. Now we have an expensive palette coming up next, and I rarely ever talk about these even though I own a lot of them because they are really costly. I think they're $80 American each. These are the Vise Art palettes. Now I own 5 of them, and the only one I'm going to talk about is this one because if you're going to invest money into one palette that's that expensive, I want you to find one that will be able to create a lot of looks and have a lot of diversity for you. So this one has your neutral row, your warm tone row, and your cool tone row. Matte black, matte white. This is all you could ever need to create so many different looks. It's all matte, and it's called the #1 Neutral Matte Palette. They also have a dark matte, which I'll quickly show you guys, which is totally the opposite of that. It is like really colorful. Burgundies, blues, greens, and oranges. And that's why I say if you're only gonna buy one, the #1 Neutral Matte is your best bet for the most bang for your buck because you'll use it a lot. Now sliding right on down to the other end of the scale is this e.l.f. Prism eyeshadow palette. This one's in the color Naked, and I freaking love this. If you're not somebody who likes a lot of like big, bright, glittery eyeshadows, but still wants a little pop of color every now and then for certain looks, this is the most silky, smooth, beautiful, pigmented eyeshadow palette I have ever played with. These are gorgeous and shimmery, and they pack a huge punch of color. I already have a really stained hand, but there you can see them all. These are great for patting over other colors to just give your eyes that little bit of sparkle. I really like this, and I think it's a $10 price point. So that's a great, like, cheap, inexpensive, easy to use shimmery palette. And then somewhere in the middle, I have 2 palettes from Morphe and 2 palettes from Buxom. Now, I don't even know if you can still buy these Morphe palettes. These were the 12 palettes. They look like this. But these 2 were my favorite. I find the 12NB, this one, 12NB, this is the most versatile one. It only has 1, 2, 3, 4 non-matte shades. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 non-matte shades, but it has a good variety of neutrals. There's a few cooler tones, a couple warmer tones. It's really beautiful. You can create really great complete looks with this, and that's the 12 NB. And then this one is all shimmer, so if you're somebody who does like to use shimmer on the lid, this is the 12S. And all of these are satin finishes, but you're getting a huge color range, from coppers to burgundies to champagnes, more silvers, more cool tones. This palette's beautiful, and I think these were like $12.99. If you can still get these on the Morphe site, pick them up because they're amazing. And then the next 2 palettes are from Buxom. Now Buxom came out with their like create your own palette this year, and I don't know why. I never used to like Buxom eyeshadows. I used to find them not really good and not really pigmented, but now I really do enjoy them since they launched them in this formulation. So you get the palette, it looks like this. It has a huge mirror in it. This is empty, and then it has a slider here that you can slide the palette in and out of. It also has a space here for a brush or an eyeliner, which I really, really like. And I have 2 palettes that are create your own. This one is affectionately known as the Michelle Money palette, except in hers, she is this color and not this color. I'm going to switch this around so I have her exact palette. So this one is affectionately known as the Michelle Money palette. She was kind of the one who put it together, and we all fell in love with this palette. So these are the colors. This is Champagne Buzz, Shimmery Light Pink. Then you have Cashmere Craving, which is a matte buttercream color. Then you have Invite Only, which is a light toned soft brown crease color. Then you have Filthy Rich, which is kind of similar to Brown Script, a little bit less red. And then you have Star Treatment, which is a little bit more of a deeper brown. And the last one in this one is called Mink Magnet. Now in my palette, I actually took Mink Magnet out, even though I love that color. It creates a beautiful shimmery lid. And I added Big Spender, which is the deepest brown they have in the line. And that's what completed my palette for me. So this is like my everyday go-to neutral palette. I wear this all the time. And then in my other palette, I have my more fun wearable colors. So I have Bold Bling, which is a gorgeous, like, bronze tone color, really shimmery. I have Glitz Factor, which is a beautiful over the lid topper. It's kind of a peachy pink. Then I have Mink Magnet in here, which is like the mink color. Then I have this beautiful lavender, which is called Lingerie Lover. It's a matte. And then I have the 2 greens. You know me, I can't have a palette without some greens. I have Prenup, which is beautiful and shimmery. It's got like a more of a satin than a shimmer to it. And Room Service, which is more of a mint, which I really like to use in the summer. So that's my second palette. My more fun and colorful palette. So those are my 2 Buxom palettes. Now continuing the theme of eyeshadow, I've talked about this one already. I've compared other things to it. Brown Script. This is a MAC Matte 2 shade. It's part of the original MAC line. Like, this is an original color. It's never been changed. It's beautiful. There's been a lot of talk about what's happening with this color, and right now I'm not sure where the rumor mill stands. It was going to be discontinued, then it started selling really well. I don't know if it's going out or not. Right now it's still available, as far as I know, in most stores. But yeah, MAC Brown Script. If you like a beautiful, warm toned crease color, Brown Script is your best friend. Now, we've got a couple more single eyeshadows, and then we're going to move into the creams. I got a lot of eye stuff to go through, you guys. These are the shimmer shadows from Silly Color. I did a whole review on these versus the Kat Von D Crushed Metal shadows, and these actually won. So I'll link that video down below if you want to go watch it. But these are kind of like my favorite colors if you're only going to pick up a few of these. These are so cheap. New Year, New Me. Gorgeous, like bright, fun color. Really gorgeous for like that inner crease or all over the lid for a nice shimmer. You see how pigmented that is? Then we have Homecoming Queen, which is a gorgeous, like rosy, it's kind of almost like a rose gold, but maybe a little, it's really rose gold. When it's swatched, it's really rose gold. Homecoming Queen and New Year, New Me. Cheers to Life, which is like my favorite kind of copper penny toned color that I really love. Cheers to Life. And then the last one is Marcella, which is the big color of last year or the year before. I can't remember. Out of all of them, this one is the least reflective. but it's still so beautiful that I had to talk about it. So those are the City Color ones. I do love those City Color shimmer shadows. I think they are one of the best formulated metallic shadows on the market. So for their price point, I think that's a huge claim, and you should totally go try them out and let me know what you guys think. Year after year, I think some of these things make their way into this countdown, and I want to give you guys new stuff, but the reality is some of this stuff I love so much that I use all the time. So these two infallible L'Oreal 24-hour shadows, I use these all the time. I have the whole line of these shadows. These are some of my favorite drugstore pressed pigments. This one is called Iced Latte. This one I use as a highlight. This one I use on my eyes. This one I use all day, every day. So gorgeous, you guys. Look at how pretty that is. It's got that gorgeous kind of pinky champagne color to it. I absolutely love it. It's one of my favorite eyeshadows of all time. And then Gold Mine is a very close second. I also love Amber Rush, but I cannot find my Amber Rush right now. Gold Mine is a beautiful gold base. I use this under gold glitter. I use this under gold shadows. I just really love Gold Mine. I actually just used it in a wedding. So that is Iced Latte and that is Gold Mine. And you can see how reflective those are. And then of course, because it knows I'm talking about it, Amber Rush happened to be sitting in the bin in front of me. This is, I've gone through 3 pots of this color because it was my go-to wear everyday color for the longest time. That's Amber Rush right there. Do you see how gorgeous that is? These are drugstore pressed pigments that are so good, you guys. If you've never tried a L'Oreal Infallible eyeshadow, the ones that come in the little squares like this, you need to get you some. Because honestly, I don't know how you've lived this long without them. They're so good. Now, I only have 2 pots in front of me, and I realized the other day that I don't talk about these enough. These are the e.l.f. smudge pots. My 2 favorite colors are Cruisin' Chic and Back to Basics. Cruisin' Chic is probably like my most go-to. It's just this gorgeous taupey beautifulness. These, once they set, they don't move. These are great for like an all over the lid throw on and go color. These are great to use as a base. Back to Basics is a little bit more gold. Let me just swatch it for you guys. Back to Basics and Cruisin' Chic. Those are my 2 favorites. But once these guys set on your eye, they don't move. So they're great bases. They're great all over the lid eyeshadows if that's what you like. They're like $2, I think, on e.l.f.'s website. So they're a great, inexpensive product to use. A little goes a really long way. That's the other thing I noticed this year is I kept going back to the same products, but it's because those same products really made me happy and just did what I needed them to do. So I didn't need to use a lot of other stuff. I've talked about these a ton, so I'm not really going to get into it, but the Makeup Forever Aqua XL eyeliners, these were built for like an underwater swim team. These don't budge. They don't come off with water. You have to break these down with oil. So good. If you're somebody who likes wearing eyeliner, but likes it to last all day, completely budge proof, the Makeup Forever Aqua XL, these will be your best friend. Highly recommend these. Now, liquid liner. It's a good day when Tanya puts liquid liner on. It's what I'm wearing right now. This is my go-to, hands down, favorite of all time liquid liner. It's the Girlactic Beauty Precise Eyeliner Marker. I like this one because it has a bigger tip, but the tip is quite flimsy, so you can really get a nice stroke with it. And you can fill in. There's so many different things you can do with this type of longer but flimsy liner, and so I love this. I also like that it's like as black as night. I've owned that one now for probably close to 3 years because I don't use it very much, maybe 2 years, and it still is black as night. It's not dry. It goes on so well. It's what I put on today, and I don't mind it. I hate wearing upper eyeliner because I never wear it. When I do wear it, it feels so strange to me, but that is what I'm wearing today. Now, Benefit launched a whole new line of brow products. Some were their original and some were new. These are the 2 that I love and use every day. This one's the old one. It's the Highbrow. This is just their creamy, like, pink pencil that you can blend underneath your eyebrow to give it that lifted look. It's right here. It's kind of like a pinky lavender color. I normally place it, like, right up in the arch, and then I blend it out. and I love it. And then this is the other one. Some people don't like this because they find that it's too thick. They prefer the more precise one. They do have a precise pen, but the Goof Proof brow pencil for me, because I do have really full brows, I like that I can just kind of lay it here and blend it in. And it's the size of my eyebrow. When I get to my tail, I just flip it on its side and I can just kind of shorten that up and blend it out. This is a more waxy consistency, so you're not getting a ton of pigment. You have to kind of really press, and I like that they included the spoolie. A lot of companies have been getting rid of the spoolie, and I don't know. To me, a spoolie is a necessary tool. So this is the Goof Proof brow pencil, and I use the color number 3, I think is what I use, and I love this. Now we have a glitter that I'm loving that I tell everybody about. I did a look the other day and I posted it on my Instagram. This is the glitter I was wearing. It is the Lit Cosmetics glitter in size number 2. It's in the color Oprah, O-P-R-A-H. This is the most gorgeous. This is the most gorgeous rose colored glitter I've ever used in my life. I absolutely swear by this and I love it. When I want to do a glitter lid, that is almost always my go-to. I absolutely love Lit Cosmetics, and this color is just really, really visually stunning. The other thing I use on my lids a lot, which is what I have on it today, to give it that little bit of sparkle, is this. This is the MAC Soft Serve Shadow. I don't know if these were regular line or limited edition. So if these were limited edition, I apologize. But this one is called Cushy Life, and it is gorgeous. These have like a really moussey consistency. But can you see, it just gives you that little bit of shine. And I just pat it on my lid. So easy to use, pat it on my lid. I did get a little bit in my brow there and I'm like, oh no, it doesn't look like where I want it to look. So you just go back in with your brush and it just blends away. It's not like glitter where it gets really stubborn. It's just a really nice consistency and you can blend it off. I absolutely love this. Cushy Life has become one of my like most go-to used products. Love that. Now I have mascaras and lashes. So we're gonna talk about mascaras and then we're gonna talk about lashes. I have been using 3 mascaras all the time this year, which you guys know for me is crazy because mascara is probably one of my favorite products and I own so much of it, but I've only really been reaching for 3. The first one is the L'Oreal Voluminous Primer, which is white based, and I absolutely love this. I put this on first, get my lashes really white, and then before it's completely dry, I go in with the L'Oreal Voluminous Original. Now, I do find that this one can get a little spidery up at the top if there's too much product. So after a couple uses, I will kind of wipe it clean and get the brush like just nice and clean, because I find that it can get a lot of product built up and then it's not so fun to use. But that's a great combination. But my go-to everyday, hands down, favorite mascara of this year is this bad boy. This is the Lancome Grandiose Extreme. When this came out with its brush, I think everybody was a little bit kind of shocked. It's kind of got this curvy end, but the way it's built is that when you use it, it just fits perfectly where it's supposed to, even on the side. Watch. It does exactly what it's supposed to do, you guys. I absolutely love this. I've been using this one pretty much daily. It is my holy grail and go-to. I love this mascara. That's all of my 2016 favorites. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, give it a thumbs up and don't forget to share it. If you're new here, welcome and please subscribe. I hope you guys love some of the products that I'm loving. Also leave your recommendations down below if there are products that you loved this year that you think I have to try. And I will see you guys in my next video. Bye.